Now we've already seen how we can create our own custom field to make use of in our projects. And that was just a straightforward text field for us to be able to type into. A useful derivation of a custom field will be one with a drop list. If we wanted to add our own priority options in, we could use the default priority options which exist within Microsoft Project, which is the values between 1 and 1,000 that you can add to each task. But there's such a variance there. Sometimes you'd like your own priority system that might just simply be urgent, normal, and low. 3 stages of priority rather than 1,000 steps. That sounds much better. So let's use My Bedroom 2014 to give us those options. So that's Format Custom Field, because we'd like to add a new custom field. It's going to be available to tasks only, and it's going to be a text field, but we're going to rename it as Task Priority. Okay. Now it's going to have custom attributes this time, in that it's going to have its values provided by a lookup, so that we're only giving whoever uses our project the option to choose from a list. So lookup, and then my lookup values are high, normal, and low. The description is optional, so I'm going to leave those empty for the moment. Now you simply add in here the values that you wish, and you can even insert rows using the options up here if you want to add values above and below other values. Would we want to set a value as the default value for this particular field? I think so, yes. Let's use the normal as the default. So we click normal and click set default, and you'll see that it goes blue, so we know which one is selected as the default option. We can control the display order. Now we've only got 3 items in here, so they can either be displayed by row number, so it'll show high, normal, low, or by ascending alphabetical order or descending alphabetical order. I think the row number is fine in this particular case. If it were a list of counties or countries, you may wish to choose alphabetical order. Data entry options allow additional items to be entered in this field. Values will be added to the lookup. In this particular case, I do not wish that to occur. I want it to be retained as high, normal, low, and that's all they can choose, and normal is chosen by default. Now, if you want to use a much longer list to save typing in, you can import the lookup data. So in this case, you may wish to import a list of the countries in the world, or a list of categories, and you want to import those. They can be imported from an external source. But for the moment, we've simply entered high, normal, and low as our lookup values, with normal being the default. I can close this, which will then bring me back to the custom field dialog box. I can then see I've set this up as a lookup, and there's no calculation for the task and group summary, there's no calculation for assigning rows, and I wish to display the data. Okay. To then see that field, I simply insert it. I know it's called task priority, so I start typing task priority, and we can see that when we click the drop down, we have high, normal, and low. I can go low, I can go normal, I can use the little fill handle if there are a set of values that are the same. Now, although we set a default value of normal, because our tasks here already existed before the field did, they do not inherit that default value. That will only happen for new tasks. So if I were to insert a new task here, we see that its default priority is normal. So it will default to normal for new tasks created after the addition of the custom field, but existing tasks have nothing in this column until we actually choose something. So that's a custom field with the lookup option.